as I prepare this final week in LA. I'm at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, my home gym. There we go, room 2, trying to get a last workout in here. Tomorrow I'll be at Metroflex and I fly to New York on Thursday. I've got some media planned in New York. So I'm gonna get to Bev Francis on Friday morning, see Big Steve and all the guys. And yeah, that's what it is. So the workout this final week is basically just flowing through the muscles, nothing heavy. I'm not doing anything that's really gonna push too hard. I'm just gonna get the blood flowing and keep it that. I'm gonna do some walking after this. I went to run 8 miles down the beach yesterday. It was like 88 degrees. And because of the time zone change and everything else, the time clock change, I was really sucking wind. And it was midday by the time I got there. A lot of things going on. I didn't want to hurt myself, so I just wanted to be smart about what I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. You know, I'm a big guy. This New York City half marathon is going to take a lot out of me, and I know that, so I'm preparing for it. Like I'm preparing for a fight. Before I did pro wrestling, I did MMA, and I know how to prepare for things, and that's what I'm doing. I feel really good. I'm down 13 pounds though, and I'm really ready to get this thing going. So finishing off a chest workout, I'm going to crunch now and get the crunches happening. Actually, I'm going to show you my crunch bands. This is what I love crunching on. It supports your back. As you can see, how it curves here, which I really like as a former pro wrestler. I've had a lot of back issues over the years, right? So I really want to be safe when I work out. I'm not in my 20s anymore, so it's not as important to me to really crack a lot of these weights. You know, it's just now about protecting myself, having a good workout, feeling good, and getting some blood flow happening. I absolutely love to work out. I'm in the gym all the time. So I think it's so important when you're doing this running. I was listening to a podcast today, and the guy was talking about why people fall off their half marathon training programs, and the reason for a lot of them, and I'll just show you the rest of the goals, is that people generally don't like to work out, so they don't like to lift weights, and lifting weights is proven to be one of the best things you can ever do for longevity. So I'm trying to be smart about where I'm at, what I'm doing, and crunches are part of it, so let me get this. And that's done. So actually had a good workout. My chest felt good. And then I got on and did some steps. I think my step goal today was light, like 6,000. So I'm tapering down for the half marathon. So I ended up doing 7,500. Nothing crazy though, no running, nothing like that. But it felt really good. I actually felt like I could have ran today, and I ran yesterday in that crazy heat here in LA. So I felt so good. I was almost tempted to start running, but I'm trying to stay really, really disciplined to what I'm doing. And that's the hardest part. I'm a person that really pushes himself, whether it be in business, whether it be in the gym, wherever. So I have to make sure I'm really keeping some sort of control as to what I'm doing and just keeping that discipline and trust. I guess that's the biggest thing, right? Is just in trust in what I'm doing in my program. So felt good. One more workout and then a night off, then travel day. So it's gonna be a long day to get to New York. And then in New York, I want to get some steps in too. So what I'll probably do is get some steps in the airport as I go through. So countdown's on, man. I'm ready. Let's go. So as I get ready for this run in New York, it's my last workout here in LA. I'm a Gold's Gym Venice member and also a member of Metroflex here in Hawaiian Gardens, which is basically, LA. So getting my final workout in as I get this half marathon started up. So for my last LA workout, what I'm doing is just going really, really light and just kind of getting blood flowing. I'm doing nothing on the legs. I kept my steps to, 8,000 today. Trying not to put too much stress or energy on them, and just wanted to get blood flowing. Yesterday I was at Gold's, did the same thing today. I'm at Metroflex. So it's just a matter of blood flow. Let's keep this going, and let's get ready. When I fly into New York, I will be at Bev Francis's East Coast Mecca. That's my New York gym. I love that place. Big Steve out there and the guys, such a great gym. So I'm going to do just an upper body workout. I'll do it really light. That's hard for me because I love blowing it up, but I'll do an upper body workout and get ready. No legs, maybe a 10-minute walk run. That'd be about it. And then on Saturday, I will have a light day in New York, walking around, maybe 8,000 steps. And I will get ready, get some good rest for Sunday morning as I prepare. I feel really good. I'm down about 14 pounds. Really put a good training program together, a good schedule. I feel that I could do this. I'm excited to do it. So I'm going to get going and get busy on it. So last night of training here in Los Angeles before I move my little mini camp out to New York City. So let's get focused and let's get going. So here's how the day starts. The day starts with my flight getting canceled this morning and getting into New York later in the day, which will mean if I want to go to a show tonight, that's not happening. So I was, it just never ends, right? So I'm going to get in probably around 8 o'clock. Maybe I grab something. I'll get some steps in though, get out to good old Times Square. I stay in Midtown by Grand Central. So I'll get up to Times Square, get some steps in, and kick off this journey for the New York City half marathon. And here's my lift, so I gotta go. As someone who travels a lot, I'm telling you, a great investment to me is using the Clear. I fly a lot of Delta, so it just saves you these long lines to get through security. Man, I can't tell you, this is one of those things, just less stress, less anxiety. So that's my travel tip. And this is LA. Actually, I live just over there. Kind of cool. Getting a beautiful shot of the beach as I head out. And it's cold in New York, so why not? One more picture of the gorgeous ocean, which I love so much. Although I do miss the cities of New York. Here we are at the Hyatt Grand Central. I've stayed in this hotel before. I've got a bit of a view out there, nothing crazy. I've stayed here before. It's a nice hotel, and it's actually close to the all the trains and everything else, so you can get places and stuff like that. So just your basic hotel room. Let's make sure we have everything. Well, it's one of those ones where you touch and the light goes up. Kind of a cool little room, right? That's all we need. Get some sleep and set up my office over there. Let's get to Times Square tonight. Here in New York now, in Times Square, getting 2-3 miles in, just got out for a walk. I arrived late. First flight was canceled, and slept most of the way here. Really got a great night's sleep considering I was on the flight for 6 hours. So long flight, got in, checked in the hotel. It's like, I don't know, 10:30, 11, and just got out, get some steps in. I'm gonna go get my workout at Bev Francis gym tomorrow, and pick up my bib and such in the afternoon and get this thing going. So welcome to Times Square. This is the Big Apple, and we're going to conquer it come Sunday. I'm ready. In case you're wondering about the hustle and bustle of New York, this is Grand Central Station as I head to my train to go down to Bev Francis's gym. People move here, that's for sure. So one thing I learned in New York is don't be afraid to ask. By the way, that's the world famous clock at Grand Central Station. So I'm going to take the train out to Syosset. Look at the size of this building. I mean, it's one of my favorite places in New York. Just amazing. but often you hear people say, I'm gonna meet you under the clock. So we're heading to Bed Francis this morning. And we're gonna get a workout in as we hustle and bustle through Manhattan. Let's go. Now that's what I call an escalator. We are getting there. We are getting there. So made it to Bed Francis's East Coast Mecca here in New York. This place is, I gotta say, probably the best gym I've ever been in. If you're into working out and getting yourself better. I'm friends with the fellow who owns it, Steve Weinberger, who's the head judge for the IPB, and I will tell you, he told me they expanded by 7,000 square feet. This is, I mean, it's just beyond description. The equipment they have here is all top of the line equipment. This gym, like, look, it goes on seemingly for, I don't know how far behind me, plus it goes around the corner. So if you're in New York, this is definitely a place you need to get to. One thing about this gym is that the people that are in here are into working out. You don't see 4 or 5 guys standing around a machine on their phones waiting for the next guy to finish his phone sets before he starts his other sets. You don't find that here. This is a real gym for real people, and I absolutely love it. It's my home away from home in New York, and I'm so glad I got in. Now, I got to be careful because I want to do everything in the gym today, but I have to go light because it's still in prep for the New York City Half Marathon. So trying to show some restraint, and I can't do any legs, and they have an amazing leg section. So trying to tamp it down, and I'm going to do a little slow run walk later on. But here we go. All right, just to take a look. The walls are covered here too, by the way, with amazing athletes. But again, you'd be hard pressed to find a gym like this, like anywhere. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And the equipment, Banana, they've got new tech, they've got hammer strength, they've got old school stuff that runs on chains. I mean, this is amazing. I love this place. So this is what it's all about. Wave 2. I'm at the Javits Center here in New York. And there you go. The pickup day. This is a beautiful, beautiful convention center, by the way. So got my bib, and ready to get this thing done. All that's left now is to go do it. It's the easy part, right? Everything else is the hard part, all the build-up. So, gonna get this done. Bib in hand, Javits Center done. Time to rest the legs and go do it. So, what do we do to get warmed up for the New York City Half Marathon? We go to see Romeo and Juliet. Chill out, New York City. One more day. We're getting there. Day before the half marathon. Feel pretty good. Legs a little tired. Did 14,000 steps yesterday. So at Grand Central Station, you can see the clock here behind me somewhere. Where's the clock? Come on now. There. Where? Yeah. I'm right in front of me. Okay. So once again, clock behind me there, and trying to get some lunch. I'll have some pasta for dinner. And then I'm going to go to a museum this afternoon, go to the Strand Bookstore. I'm a bit of a geek, and also a chess club here in New York. So I love New York, man. I lived here for 5 years, and this is, I do a lot of bouncing between LA and New York, and would be happy to live here again. I really will, well, almost. I got to see what's going to happen with the mayor and all that kind of stuff, but I stay out of politics. Anyways, let's go get some lunch and prepare for tomorrow. Get really prepared for tomorrow. Trying to keep the steps low, so I'm at the Keith Haring art exhibition in the East Village, so I'm not banging out my legs, but I'm a huge art fan, and Keith Haring was a sort of a graffiti artist in New York. A lot of his stuff is in the subways, and it's really interesting stuff. I like things that make me think. So just killing time till race time tomorrow. Okay, one of my favorite places in New York is the Strand bookstore. This is New York's, I believe it's the oldest bookstore in New York. And I can't tell you how much I love this place. Rare books on the 3rd floor, in case you're wondering. Yeah, this is what it's like to be a geek. Just killing time till tomorrow. All right, final meal before the big race. And where am I? Yes, I'm on Mulberry Street. Where else would you go, right? This street is known for a lot of things. Roberto's Clam House, for example. Although I believe that's not the original location. But so many great restaurants down here. And I know it's not the same. However, it is a pretty cool place. And I've eaten at a lot of these places. When I lived in New York, I come down here all the time to eat. But it's a little different now. However, Mulberry Street, and there you go. So, gonna grab some dinner, and actually not gonna do anything tonight in New York. I'm just gonna chill out, get to bed early, and have a great evening of rest. I slept almost 8 hours last night, and I needed it. So, all right, let me go find my restaurant now. And it's race day, and the police have already started lining the course outside of my hotel. All right, let's get there. Let's get at it. So this is it. It's race day. You can see all the red lights. The police are lining the course. They're ready, and it's just now time to get busy. I was up this morning, 5 o'clock, had a bagel, and banana. So I think I'm fueled. I think I'm ready. And it's 32 degrees, I think. I'm gonna run this race. Crush it. Let's go. All right, here we go. We are starting with
that's Jess out there. That's our road race.
Oh, that's
13 miles to come.
That's Jessica.
All of a sudden there was like a huge party happening to me, right? Also, I have a perfectly...
All right, on the Brooklyn Bridge, what's kind of cool is you can feel the whole bridge shaking and moving. So the race goes on, baby. All right, heading into the final round here at Central Park. The one and only Central Park. The drums. So many wonderful people here. If you've never done one of these, I encourage you. Try and do something big. We're almost there. On the final stretch, as I head down, I can't remember the name of the street, right in front of Central Park, but New York Athletic Club, love it. Learned a lot on this half marathon. Really learned a lot of fun, and it's a test of my own ability, right? And fortitude. So that's what we're doing. But I can't wait to hopefully do it again next year. And that's funny I say that now. Look, there's so many great people. These people are great. All right, coming to the end of the New York City United Airlines half marathon. I learned so much, and I will tell you all about it.
Marathon photo is here, ready to snap your pic. Let's celebrate
I get through it. Let's go. Okay, so holy crap, that took a lot of me. I feel pretty good, but what did I notice? I had parts of that race where my knee hurt. I wore knee braces on both knees, soft braces, and it seemed like when I was coming downhill for some reason, my left knee, I get some pain in. So that was one thing. Also, everybody's different, but as far as working out goes, I think shoulders are really important to work out, and crunching, because you need the core. That's a couple things I noticed. Obviously legs, don't skip on leg day for sure. But shoulders and core and legs, I'd say if you're gonna try one of these, that's what I would train in the gym. I wore these headphones. I can't remember the name of them. I'll do another one on my gear, but they were really good. They're like 12-hour battery. My phone battery was great. I listened to music the whole time. I didn't know if I listened to books, podcasts, whatever. I had some great tracks for the gym, and I just played those. So all in all, it was great. Honestly, I walked a lot more than I thought just because of the hills. I run on a flat track in Los Angeles, and with that, there aren't any hills. So I noticed that just running the hills really made a difference for me. So I don't know if I train on hills. I enjoy doing these without really a lot of hills. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Like, I can't wait for next year. I could train, maybe drop another 50 pounds, but great experience. If you've never done one, don't be worried about the walking part. Run, walk is great. It's just so, it's fun, man. Great supportive community around you. I really can't say enough about it. New York Roadrunners does a first-class job on these. And other things, hydration. Make sure I drink Gatorade, even though I'm type 2 diabetic, and I used gels for energy. I think that's very important. I used Merton. Very clean gels, like really clean. So they were really good. I used those, and just messed with my Garmin watch. Couldn't quite figure it out, so I'm not sure what it even timed me on. Hopefully it goes into Strava off of the race, the chip. We'll see. I got to figure all that out when I get back to my hotel. So that's it. More to come. I will debrief, and I'll do my gear that I use as well. But great experience, man. Great. It's like I can't even believe I did it. It's funny, but yeah, that's what it is. All right, I got to get an Uber. I'm not walking back to the hotel right now. Let's go. And to finish off the dinner, I stopped at the old homestead in the meatpacking district where I used to come all the time when I lived in New York. This place is great. It's time for steak and soup. And this is my recovery after the run. That's a 16-ounce ribeye. I got a few potatoes, and I don't know what that is. We're gonna find out. But I'm trying to recover, man. That's what it is. So it's been a couple of weeks since I did the New York City half marathon, and I thought I would do sort of a final debrief. It was really interesting. I learned so much about myself in this journey. I had to go through it just quickly. I had only 5 weeks of real training for it. I did some training after November. I went to New York in November to try to run the 5K during marathon weekend. I didn't get in. I was on the standby list. I was hoping I would get in, but I didn't. So I came home, caught a cold my second half of that weekend there, came home to LA, I took a week off of training, ran the Travis Barker 5K. I shouldn't have, I was still sick, got sick again, took a week off, felt much better, went and ran a 5K down the beach, felt really good, and got sick that night. I don't know, it was really weird. I was like one after another. So 3 straight weeks I had a cold heading back. I have a charity foundation. I went to Canada with my charity foundation, provide Christmas for some underprivileged kids in 2 different cities. We went to Winnipeg, and I went to Edmonton. And the air was so dry up there, even though I wasn't feeling sick anymore, I couldn't run. It was just, so I still lifted weights. I was weight training, yes. Come home Christmas Day, drop a 25-pound plate on my toe at a gym in the morning doing a leg workout. And that's why I kicked off my Christmas. Broke my toe, couldn't run for 6 weeks. So I really literally had 5 weeks of training. I still went and did the half marathon. And what did I learn? I did everything else perfect. Honestly, I trained for it like it was a fight. So I was a pro wrestler for 12 years. Before that, I did, like MMA fighting and things like this. So I trained for it like it was a fight, like just getting everything dialed into my body as far as workouts go, tapering down on the workouts and things like that. When I was finally able to run again, I remember doing 7 miles on Sunday. I did an 8-mile run on a Sunday. The 7 mile, my legs felt heavy. The 8 mile, I felt great. I felt really good and energized. It's always like the first half miles I kind of drag, and then after that I start getting into it. I'm ready to kick back up. Okay, so did the second one with the 8 mile. That was about 2 weeks before the marathon. The weekend before the marathon, I was going to do 6 easy miles down the beach here in LA. I train at Gold's, so I run in front of Gold's down Venice Beach. Not on the beach, on the boardwalk area, the paved path. However, it was so hot. That was the LA Marathon weekend where they were letting people stop at 18 miles and you could still say you finished it. So that weekend I only did 3 miles. Went to New York, and I'm going to tell you, I was dialed in and ready to go. I was super, super excited come race morning. I had no jitters. Good night's sleep the night before. I went to Little Italy for dinner. However, I did get plantar fasciitis the night before, like 2 blocks from my hotel. When I was walking back, and my heel started hurting. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So yes, I did get it. And look, I'm a former pro wrestler. I'm used to dealing with pain in my body. I mean, we dealt with pain every single night. I was in the era of 320 shows a year. So I'm used to dealing with pain and what comes with pain, how to manage pain. So I just ran through it. I ran through with all the pain. So what did I learn about myself in that marathon week? A lot of mental clarity and training, because I'm going to tell you, often your body can go, it's your head that gives out. You have to stay focused. I saw many people broken down the side of the road, medical teams tending to them, they're crying, their day's over. I guess I could put it back to like when I was wrestling, you'd be in an arena in a dressing room and somebody would get hurt and they'd come out in an ambulance and stuff, and then you still got to go work. You have to make sure you're mentally strong enough to deal with things like that. So I just kept saying to myself, okay, just got to keep going. Sucks for them. I do have to keep going, and I just kept moving myself forward. So 3 things I learned on this. Hills were actually no problem for me. I mean, I walked them, right? Because I run. My legs are really strong, and so that really helped. But it's hamstrings and glutes to get you up those hills. But coming down, it's quads and knees. And I learned that I had knee pain sometimes coming down where I'd have to stop and rub my knees out, or I probably could have got a better time. So that's one thing that took some time away from me, and it's a very valuable lesson to learn. So now I'm really working on quads, which is super interesting, right? So that was one thing. I learned that shoulders and particularly traps, I could feel those too. So I didn't know, I mean, I'm not a distance runner, right? I'm a big guy. I lost 175 pounds, don't forget to do this. And then I lost 14 pounds heading into the race. Subsequently, I ended up down 18, but this year I want to lose 50 anyway. So again, traps and shoulders, I learned that you really, really use your shoulders when you're doing these runnings, or maybe just because I'm so big, that's what it is, right? Around mile 8, like if I was putting my hands up to adjust my glasses or my earphones or whatever, it was hard. So I don't know if that was just my body, my arms, my shoulders. I'm not really sure. I have to dig into that a little bit more and figure out what that might be. But that was kind of interesting too. And core, I could feel it in my core. I love crunching. I use a crunch bench. I train at Gold's Venice, and they have these crunch benches that support your back that I love. You put weights on them, you put the straps over your shoulders, and you crunch. So I do a lot of those consistently. I never miss crunches. So those helped a lot. I've been doing a lot of calf raises, and you know when you lift up on your calves, but also when you pull your toes up. I don't know what that's called. I find that really helps for running too, by the way. So that's another insight I had, and it really worked well. So there's that part of it. It's hard because the race is on Sunday, and I love New York so much. I spent Saturday going to museums. this, and that. I didn't want to do as many steps as I did Saturday. I think I did 12 or 14,000 steps. I wanted to stay off my feet more, but it's so hard when you're in such an amazing city. I wish the race was on Saturday, so then I could get out after and spend Sunday walking around. Sunday I didn't feel Monday I didn't feel as bad as I thought I'd feel on the plane coming back to LA. You know, and I think it's because I've lost weight, so I actually fit in the seats, right? So that's probably a big part of it. Yeah, you know, it was the trip of a lifetime. I mean, I'll never forget it. Going over the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it was cool because you run the FDR. I used to live in New York. I lived there for 5 years. I consider it like LA and New York are my home cities here in the US. I'm Canadian originally, but you know, you're coming up the FDR right by the East River, going over the bridge, same thing. So it got a little cool then. I ran in what I normally wear here to the gym. I actually got shirts when I was at the New York City Marathon weekend. It's sort of those dry fit shirts I wore underneath, just a cotton gym shirt. So it managed the sweat and everything really well. It was 33 degrees when I arrived at the start line. It warmed up some. By the time I finished the race, it was mile 12. I get into Central Park. And so it's just like that last 1.1 mile, but it just seemed to go on forever. Central Park is awesome. It was kind of gray, windy. But Central Park goes on forever, and I'm like, is this race ever going to end? And I remember when I finished it, I was like, holy crap. I had to take like a reckoning of myself, like just take a minute and just, okay, like, you know, it's almost like when you're in a wreck. When I was wrestling, you come off the top of a cage or something, you land on the mat. You're like, am I okay? Can I move? Yeah, okay, I can move. And I remember having to go and sit down for a minute, like on a bench with my little bag, my apple or whatever they give you, like a pretzels or something crazy like that. However, I do remember the cape. It's like kind of looks like a flimsy cape, but it's designed to keep you warm. I remember putting that on and being so warm. And then I'm leaving Central Park, and there's still a bunch of people at the exit when you're leaving, and they're cheering cowbells, and they're trying to talk to you. I couldn't talk. I was like, even though I like walk up there all the time, I usually stay in Midtown by Grand Central, so it's, you know, it's like a mile maybe. There's no way I was walking back to the motel. I just had to get a Uber, and I remember thinking, or a Lyft. I'm like, I just need to walk down a block to a spot where I can locate, like, you know, an Uber or a Lyft and get back to my hotel. And people are trying to talk to me, you know, and have a conversation. I'm like, I can't even talk. So, I mean, literally the experience of a lifetime. I can't wait to do it again. I lost about 10 minutes of my time because I kept thinking, do I have to use the restroom? Do I have to use the restroom? Do I have to use the restroom? And finally, it's like, when you start thinking like that, it's like, okay, I got to use the restroom. But it was like, it took me like 10 minutes to wait in the line to get into one. And I don't have to tell you, man, like horrific doesn't even begin to describe what that situation is. So, but I did have to go. So these are little things you learned. It was just amazing taking in all the sights and sounds. Things that made it a lot better and cooler. Like I'd be exhausted, and then I would come upon, you know, some crazy sign. So if you had a sign and you're on the side of the course, I applaud you because you got me through so many things, like signs that, you know, you just be like mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. You'd look out, you know, I'm looking down, boom, 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 pounding the driveway or the roads. And all of a sudden I look up, I see some goofy sign. I just start laughing. It was great. And the craziness of some of the bands too. There were DJs on the bridges playing. That was awesome. And then some of the bands, it was like, you know, it was like one reminded me of like The Longest Yard, the movie The Longest Yard, you know, the band and stuff. So some pretty janky, you know, bands that were put together, but were so cool. So I thank all of you, all the people that gave me encouragement, the fantastic runners in the organization, New York Road Runners. I mean, you know, people talk about people getting pushed when they're a slow runner and stuff like that. Nobody did that to me. Matter of fact, I get tapped on the back a lot. Hey, good for you. Hey, keep going, buddy. You know, stuff like that. So much encouragement. I can't say enough about the encouragement I got of doing that race and the love. And I just felt so good after. I went back to my hotel. I laid down for about 3 hours. I fell asleep for a little bit. Funny, so what happens after, right? What do you do, right? You've just done this thing, and it takes a minute for the shock to settle in that you did it. And then I wanted to go to the old homestead. So basically, I almost have a standing reservation there on Sunday nights in New York when I'm in town. They're very good to me there. And I go up, I have dinner, but there's no way I could walk up any stairs. I was done on stairs on my knees. And I was walking like, I'm like 80 years old. And so I go, I have dinner, and I had to wait till the table next to me finish their dinner so I could lean on the chair and the table to stand up because I was walking like an old timer, man. It was rough. But then once you get walking a little bit, it feels good. Then you don't want to get in a cab, because I did take a cab, but normally I take the subway, but I wasn't doing the subway steps up and down to get back to Midtown. So I did take an Uber there. It was Sunday night, so, it's not bad. But, I'm thinking, man, am I going to be able to get out of this car? Like even like after the run, when I was by the park and I got the Uber to my hotel, and of course the streets are blocked off, so they got to go it's like the SS Minnow, the 3-hour tour, and so the streets are all blocked off, and I get to the hotel and we roll up to the street beside the hotel because the street was still blocked, and it's 42nd Street. I'm thinking, can I even get out of this car? And there's people trying to talk to me when I get out. And I'm struggling to get out of the car. I got like a cape. It's going over my head. I'm like, hey, I'm in survival mode here, folks. So now, one thing I did ask myself when I finished the 13, do I think I could do a marathon? Like, I asked myself that after I crossed the finish line. I was standing there. At first, I take a check on my body to make sure I'm okay. And then I'm thinking, man, I wonder if I could do a full marathon. And I don't know if I can or can't. I've had some time to rest. Now my foot is still sore. I came back. I rested for a week. Of course, I ran the first 2 miles, felt great. And I was getting great times on them. And then mile 3, I went to run, a 5K, so it's just over 3 miles. Anyways, after the second mile, so during that third mile, man, my heel was killing me. And all week, I've been sitting and resting it and, rubbing the spiked ball on it and doing the stretching and stuff. It feels better today, but I'm smart enough today to know I'm not going to run again for another week. So I'm just taking a little break, just trying to heal my body. I'm still working out like a nut. And what's good is that when I don't do any cardio on the gym days is I just add in extra exercises and go extra hard on the lifts. So I love lifting weights, sadly. So it's hard because, obviously I don't have a runner's body and I don't do anything to help out any kind of a run I might have. I still lift like a lunatic. So this is my world though, right? So what am I going to tell you? I guess what I want to tell you is if you're considering it, I would say go do it. Like really, I did 4 5Ks last year, and I would try the 5Ks, get a little brave, maybe do a 10K, and then just test yourself. Go on runs on Sundays. Like I do Sunday because I only take one day off from my businesses. I own 2 or 3 businesses. So Sunday's the day I run, and when I started testing myself the 7 miles, the 8 miles, I really got confident on doing that. And sadly, now I'm getting confident that maybe I could do a full marathon, which would be mind-blowing. It would be absolutely mind-blowing. So we'll see. I mean, I'm trying to fight it back. I'm thinking I should maybe do another half marathon maybe next year again back in New York. I love that. It was, by the way, it's just the greatest experience ever going through the city, the people of New York. I mean, just everything about it. Oh, one last thing. If you do one of these, make sure you get to the starting line early. I took the subway from Grand Central, which you got to go to 42nd Street and then over to Brooklyn. And I will tell you this, that I almost missed my start time because when you get there, there's a massive line to get through security. And they started saying, look, my wave to go in front of the other wave, but people don't really want to let you through. I'm a big guy, a former football player. I just barged through. But if you're kind of shy, you might have a tough time. Logistically, I got up at 5. I left my hotel room to get on the subway at 6. I started at 7:40. So just to tell you, I arrived basically in my corral at about 7:38. So like I got through security and just had to hustle straight out basically to run. So it's not like I was stretching, petting any kind of a calm you down dog, like they have all that stuff there. I just barely got through, and I left 6. So that's 7. That's an hour and 45 minutes almost until I kicked off. So next year, what I would do is I'd leave probably even a half hour earlier, so I get over there and just enjoy the ambience a little bit in the corral. Not that there's a lot of ambience to enjoy, but maybe stretch out a little bit and stuff because I went just right to a cold start. Gotta go. So off I went. So, I'm so dumb that I don't know the difference of, doing all the other things. I mean, I'm a former pro athlete, but, this is all new to me, so I'm just kind of doing it on the fly and learning as I go. But what an experience. If you're debating it, I highly recommend you go do it. Try it on. Take yourself outside your comfort zone and your boundaries. And you don't know where you can go, and don't listen to anybody else. Somebody told me that they thought there's no way I could do a 10K, let alone a half marathon. And I certainly proved them wrong. I've done this my whole life. I've literally done this my whole life. The biggest challenges, the biggest places, the world's biggest stages, that's where I want to play. And hopefully you do too. So I'm going to encourage you to go do it. It's an amazing, amazing experience. The city of New York is like no other. New York Roadrunners do a great job. Listen, I'm a member of the New York Roadrunners. I do a lot of virtual races with them. That's what I was trying to say. So I'd highly recommend joining a group like that. I use Strava like everybody else seems to do. I see Jelly Roll on there all the time running, so it encourages me to do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, that's it. This has just been such a great journey. I left running alone for many years. I was 473 pounds, and dumped 175 of that to go and do this. Can you imagine doing it at this size? I'm friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I check in with him every week, talk about my health journey. Arnold told me yesterday, he goes, I called the mayor of New York. I told him to open the bank to you. So, I mean, what are we doing? So I highly recommend you go do it. Take on those challenges, meet them head first, and go. You got this. Reach out to me if you need some help, or if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer your questions. Do you plan to do one of these? Do you have any questions about doing one? Hit me up. And then I can also talk about recovery. I've learned a lot about recovery. I have a cold plunge in my house. I have one of those banging guns, you put on your muscles. Those are good. I've got a sauna. I've got all kinds of stuff. I'll tell you what I did though, because it was really important with this plantar fasciitis, which is still lingering with me, and it was really sore. So if you have any questions, leave me in the comments. Happy to answer them on anything to do with this journey I've been on. I hope you enjoyed this series. And I'm a little afraid of what the next series is going to bring. I'm going to make a decision here soon, but if I do, it's going to be one or the other. I got news for you. Would it be both? Maybe, but for sure, it's going to be one or the other. Are we going to go for the granddaddy of them all and do the New York City Marathon, or are we going to train for the half marathon next year? Let's take a minute. Everybody talk amongst yourselves and let's think about it. Let me know what you think. All right, let's go.